Hi everyone, and welcome to the Part-Time Teachers Development Program. We're excited to work with you over the next week or so, and wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to some of the different aspects of the program that it will be helpful for you to know about as we move forward. So one of the things that we did want to highlight for you were some of the different resources that are available to you and that you'll be using as part of the program. The program is interactive, both in that there will be times when we meet together, but in the moments when we are working asynchronously, or you're working on your own through some of the tasks that we have set out for you, we do have a number of activities for you to do. And to be able to do those activities does require a bit of knowledge and introduction to some of the systems that we use at the college. So in this video, we're going to have a look at how we use those systems within Part-Time Teachers Development Program. Now, it is worth noting that some of the systems and the ways that we access them in part-time teachers are different than what you will find when you actually have your account set up for your access at the college as an instructor. And this is important to note just because some of these things are going to look a little bit different. Most of the functionality will be the same, but the ways that we get into those accounts and the kinds of things that you have access to are just going to be slightly different at this point in time. Now, that said, even if you do have a college account already set up when you are doing part-time teachers, we do ask that we use the accounts that we give you for this program. We have a set of demo accounts that we always use. And the reason for this is that they are already connected to most of the tools and the resources that we'll be using. And they also allow us to have a look at how things are going in your course so that we can help out with things if that's necessary. To help you get started with accessing the part-time teacher's resources and completing the tasks that are set out for you to do, we have sent you an email with a bunch of information in it. So in that email, there's going to be some information about how you can access the Blackboard site. There'll be some information on the different things that you can access within that, and that should be most of what you need to get started. So if I'm actually going to get started as someone who's completing part-time teachers, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this link that we sent you. And this is an important link because it's going to give you access to the demo logins. And if I can just grab it there. So this link is different than our usual Blackboard login link. And if I put that in, you will see that this does take me to a Blackboard login page, but it's not the one that you will use for your typical account when you've got your account access set up. Now you'll note that this page does have a message in the middle of it that says this is no longer a valid login page. That is true for most Blackboard accounts at the college. This is not true for the part-time teachers program though, and we use this so that we can keep using our demo accounts in a way that works well for the people who are participating in the program. So this is good. And from here, if I go back to that email, you'll see that I have some login information here. I have a login name, which is going to be demo instructor with a number after it. And then there's going to be a password attached to that too. So my login is demo instructor 1, and I'm going to put that in here. And then I will put in my password. Now, if you do put in your login and your password and you go to log in and you see this screen, that just means that there has been a typo or an error in either the password or the login information. This is our usual Blackboard login, what we use across the college now. So if you see this, something has just gone a little bit wrong with the login, and you can use that link once again to return to the login page, and you can just try that once more. So if I go back to that page, so I'm going to put in demo instructor 1 again, and we'll try my password again, And there we go. I now have access to my Blackboard site as part of that demo account. From this Blackboard main page, there are 3 things that are really important to know about as you go through Part-Time Teachers. The first one is over here to the right, and you'll see that under My Organizations, there's a link to the Part-Time Teachers Development Program. Now, we do have a separate orientation video that will help you get familiar with some of the different things that are sitting here in the Part-Time Teachers Development Program. But you will note really briefly that we have access to a lot of materials. So we've got the day 1 and day 7 materials, which are our synchronous sessions where we'll all be together. But we also have the days 2 to 6 materials, which are the things you're going to be doing on your own or asynchronously. And the key piece here is that for some of these different tasks, and particularly the ones that are related to Blackboard, there are things that we are going to ask you to do. So if I, for instance, come in here and have a look at the communications under the organization, you'll see that we have 2 tasks for communications for you. We have create an announcement and send an email. And there are tasks for most of the different aspects of Blackboard that we want to focus on. Now, the reason why this is important to note is because you actually have to have a place to do those tasks. And that's where these demo accounts come into play. So if I come up here and I click on My Blackboard, that's going to take me back to that main page. And right here, in the top middle, you'll see a section for courses where you are the instructor. And there will be a course there that if you click on it, is actually just a Blackboard development shell. So it's completely blank. It looks exactly as it would for any course that's being taught at the college. So when you do have access to your account and access to your courses, this is exactly what that's going to look like. The only difference here is that there are no students attached to this account. So you can try different things, you can play around with them, you can see how it works without anybody seeing. And the idea here is that all of those tasks that we have laid out in the different Blackboard sections of the Part-Time Teachers organization, you can actually do them in your own individual personal development course. So all of those things that we're asking you to do, we're going to have you do over here as part of your completion of the program. Now, one thing that's really handy to note, because it does involve a little jumping around between the Part-Time Teachers organization and your own personal development course, but one thing that can work really well is to have each of those things open in its own tab, so you can move between them in a really straightforward and simple kind of way. So if you haven't used tabs before, I've clicked on My Blackboard and come back to that main page again. And if I come down to My Organization, if I right-click on that, it will give me the option to open that link in a new tab. So if I do that, I will have Part-Time Teachers sitting right here, and I can navigate that just as I normally would. I could open up all of those Blackboard materials that I want to have access to, including all of their instructions for those different tasks. So all of that can be sitting here in this tab. And then if I come back over to this tab, I can use that tab that I already had open and click on that demo course, just like I usually would. And so I can have that open in this tab at the same time as I have the organization open in another tab. And that makes it all the easier to navigate here and do the things that I need to do while being able to read through the instructions and check on those tasks and make sure that I'm getting everything done and completed. The other thing it's important to know about in terms of resources that you have access to can also be found on that Blackboard main page. So one more thing that you have access to is this section here called Courses Where You Are a Student. And you'll see a course here called J.E. Martin Development Course B. And what that is a course that we use for training. It is entirely fake. It's a course on underwater basket weaving, so we did make the whole thing up. But the idea here was that it's often easier to envision the kind of things that you can do with different Blackboard tools and think about what those things might look like in your own class if you can actually see them situated in a course. So we would invite you as part of your part-time teachers development program process to have a look over here and to see the kind of things that you might be able to do with your course. So there's nothing terribly complicated here, nothing that's that difficult to set up. But you're welcome to come in and you are welcome to navigate around and have a look at things. We've got some weekly content. We have a final exam that you can have a look at with a number of different question types in it. We have a sample of all kinds of different content here, so if you are looking for some inspiration or just trying to get a sense of some of the things that you might be able to do in a course, we would welcome you to come over here and have a look at those things and figure out how they might work for you. So to wrap this up, and just as an overview, the three things that are really important to pay attention to for part-time teachers are, first of all, my organizations, which are over here on the right. And that part-time teachers development program organization is going to give you access to all of the information that you need to complete a range of different tasks. Some of those tasks will need to be completed in Blackboard. So that's what you're going to use this demo course for, and you will see that in the center top of your screen. And then if you're looking for some inspiration or ideas, or even just want to get a sense of what a course might actually look like in Blackboard, you can come to Courses Where You Are a Student and access that development course to have a look. So if you do have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are more than happy to help you as you work through part-time teachers, and we are very much looking forward to meeting with you and hearing some of your thoughts and seeing what you do with your Blackboard sites.